You guys are muted, so I didn't know if you guys could hear me.
James, you got cut up?
Thank you, James.
Yeah, that's better.
Are you gonna make a point or just letting us know you're now
No,
online?
I didn't have a question. I just wanted to make sure you guys knew you were muted on the Zoom.
Okay, great, thanks, appreciate it. Welcome to the meeting. Sure, go ahead.
I have a question for the resident expert.
Go.
Like, if you're talking about like, how does it work? Because I just don't understand. How does it work? Like, if they wanted X amount of trees per diameter, but how does that work by having more trees? If eventually they're all gonna grow, and then with overcrowding as they get bigger and then some dying, like, how does that work? I just don't understand, like.
You probably have to ask God, how he makes the forest work.
Yeah.
I mean, trees in the forest, like I could sit here and talk about the theory all day, but a lot of landscape architects believe that you should space them appropriately, let them grow to what they're gonna be. Then another train of thought is a lot of landscape architects think crowd them because that's what the forest does. So it all depends.
Yeah.
Each tree provides its own ecosystem service, and naturally, like if you look in the forest, trees don't really cross each other for some reason. Nobody can really explain that, but
Yeah.
they
White
figure
pines
it
and
out.
things need other white pines around them. What I found is, and this is from 30 years in this property, is when a big white pine gets dropped by a storm,
Mhm.
the ones adjacent end up getting crushed about. They need the security of
Yeah, because they're
cluster,
wooded.
right,
Yeah.
of the trees.
Or like I looked in the
The
bylaws.
wind can impact it too.
Yeah, for
Like
sure.
there was a lot of trees taken down for my septic in my backyard, and now all those other trees are exposed and they're
Yeah.
weaker because they were protected before. It's like if you break your arm, and like when you take it out of the cast, it feels funky. You have to like
Right.
build the muscles back up.
So like I heard in the bylaws, because I read through all the bylaws that Nana sent me, and it says the equivalent value.
Yeah.
And so how do you decide equivalent value at your discretion with, like, if the wind is coming up, how do you decide, instead of putting a tree, do we put a bush like the 12 feet apart? Like, how do you, decide, is it all trees versus?
Well, there's like I mean, this bylaw is based on like a formula that was probably taken from other examples of other towns and what they have done. And like the city of Newton, they have a formula that if you take down a tree that's over 24 inches, and as an arborist, I was consulted in that town. And it's based on like some formula that they figured out for ecosystem services somewhere down the line that after 24 inches, it's more than a 1-to-1 replacement. It's, times 2 or times 3, because you can't replace a
Yeah,
small
yeah.
tree
Yeah.
with the
Because it's
ecosystem
just
service
time.
the larger tree provided in its whole life, like with
Right.
carbon sequestration and all that.
Yeah.
Plus, which is the
So-
reality of planting a tree that's 24 inch in diameter with another tree that's 24 inch diameter. Who's gonna bring in a tree at
No,
whatever
you're
cost?
never gonna get
So
that.
that's why if I'm getting talked about bylaws and how we get to
Yeah.
1 inch trees in the equivalent replacement for 3 inch tree or a 6 inches, tree or whatever. It was taken from other towns, examples probably back when the bylaws were created, because I helped the current batch of bylaws that are there get created. Remembrance was, if I could say it, that we did use a lot of other sources of information to create the bylaws. We didn't just come up with numbers.
Mhm.
And it is discretionary. There are times when we have had developers or roadside projects along a scenic road where it says in the bylaws and in the scenic road plan, the town bylaws, that you have to replace any tree you take out on along scenic road, say Maple Street, for example, is in our town, with the equivalent. But the problem is, if the roadside is already forested, you can't do it right in that area. What are you gonna do? You're gonna cut down 3 more trees to plant that one tree to replace the one you had cut down? You
That's
can't do
what I'm
it.
saying.
So
It's just
sometimes you have to balance it off. And can you do it somewhere else in town? That's been proposed, but isn't currently in the bylaws. It isn't like you can plant a tree in the center of the common. If a tree goes down to replace the one on the scenic road in Maple Street that was taken out. Right now, there isn't approval for that kind of, or a plan for that kind of thing, but we do the best we can, and sometimes.
Yeah.
Just
we
for
pick up-
fun, read the city of Newton's private tree ordinance and you'll be grateful you live in Bellingham.
Yeah, well, it's kind of funny, because when I researched this afternoon, that it did reference that, but so if it's a 24 inch tree, it's one tree. Like, as I already said, so it's like a one.
Well, if you took down a
took
24
down
inch
a
tree, then
20
you'd have to replace with 24 1-inch trees, or 12 2-inch trees, like whatever the equivalent is. And in Newton, if you don't have the size property for that, then you have to give the money equivalent, which can be extremely pricey. It's like over $30,000. And then they would take that money, it goes into a tree fund, it's only allocated for planting trees in the town.
Got it.
Look at that ordinance, it's
Yeah.
pretty well done, but it's very aggravating for the people that live there.
Are you, just for information, are you on 100 or 96?
I'm at 96.
96, thanks, I just trying to face the name.
Yep.
Okay, great, thanks.
It's the same order. 96 is this side.
96.
Okay, where's one for?
No, our neighbor's not here.
Okay.
I see.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions or comments for the commission members? So we have a plan to have a spreadsheet provided,
We
with
have,
well, some
is
information.
that good?
I trust yours is
It's very, very clean.
Yep,
I
okay.
can
Just-
edit this and to fit you and send it to you.
And I'll let.
You give me your email later, yeah, or Hannah can give me an email.
And we'll facilitate the communication between you. So go ahead.
I just have one more thing, and so you would recommend.
You want my card? We can talk later.
Well,
You can dream up all your questions.
You know, I was an Eagle Scout, I did my project in the woods, so like I love being outside. So were you saying, because before there was talked about having bigger trees and a couple bigger trees, but are you saying the smaller trees everywhere because they take bigger? Right, so was that changing the,
Well, I don't, whatever his is on his plan,
There
like
were-
this looks pretty good.
The other lots had some 3-inch trees on them, 196, I believe.
Yeah, yeah.
And
What I proposed was like a third of the bigger trees. I think I said 2-inch, but
in
whatever.
the current
that's it.
plan, I think there are still some 3-inch trees and some 1-inch trees, so it's not everything down to 1 inch or smaller, I don't think, if that's what you're asking.
yeah, well, I was just trying to clarify, because I thought.
And the different size
that
trees
the
can kind of
small
like
trees
protect the
are
smaller
better.
trees.
I think she was talking overall necessarily, and on the slope more of the 1-inch trees, because he's asking if basically we're going with 1 inch everywhere based on your smaller is better for establishing and growing and so forth, or just
Yeah, I'm just
stay with
trying
the
to-
3-inch and 1-inch plans that they are, but
Yeah, I would-
reinforcing the idea of getting away from the
I
3 inch.
think once we get this into a spreadsheet, our minds can comprehend it a little better. I think we can evaluate that a little
Okay,
bit better.
yeah, I was just going with clarification that you said smaller trees are better. Is that,
Not too small, but small, like,
Well,
you don't have to put
yeah.
3 or 4-inch trees in because. I mean, I don't like, this is my professional opinion strictly,
yeah,
that they don't transplant as well as smaller trees.
right, but you're saying that's for all the trees we're talking about.
I think she'd want to see how many of the 3, because this is a little
Yeah, this is a
hard to read.
yeah.
And make sure we're on the same page. I don't think at this point in time, our arborist
Because the
expert
plan
is.
looks good, but it's hard to see what sizes are where
Right,
on.
I don't think she's saying go with all 1 inch just because smaller establishes better at this point in time. It may become that, it may become.
Got it.
You wanna maintain the,
Okay,
the bylaws. to-
In order
Remember,
to-
smaller trees require greater numbers.
Yeah,
potentially, that we understand it from the general council. Okay, so just for timing, because again, everybody wants to get this planting season thing going along, we want to move the hearings along. Is it realistic that at the next meeting, we could come back with a plan that you were ready to sign off on, you think, in 2 weeks? I want to move things along for your sake, for getting planting going and so on. I don't think we need to extend beyond that. If spreadsheet could go over, you can provide it back.
Yep.
Nicole and or Hannah can communicate as far as whether that sounds good or whether anything else needs to be tweaked, so that at the next meeting, we come back with a ready to be recommended by our arborist.
Sounds good.
Sounds good? Anybody else have anything else?
I don't think you need to make a motion. It's just it's.
No, anything else that I want to bring up for information?
Okay.
And 104 will be part.
Well, we need to continue the
Yeah.
meeting.
Vinny, I could probably get you this template by Friday.
Okay.
All right.
I'm a little busy tomorrow, but I can work on this Friday. I can kind of retrofit it to what you need and then send it to you.
Okay, based on that, if there's no other questions or points, I'll accept a motion to continue this hearing to the evening of May 15th. Oh, sorry, 13th.
Right, we'll put it, we actually don't, we don't have it.
Oh, that's right.
In a hearing, this is just informational, so.
Oh, sorry, I just didn't finish taking, okay.
Sorry.
So we would like to see this
You
happen.
can make a motion to put it on the agenda on
Yep.
May 13th.
Yep.
We're done with the potential.
We're both cannot make it on May 15th.
I'll be in Florida on.
Well,
Going on vacation
I'll
together?
be in San, not together.
If,
Wife wouldn't like
And you're-
it.
as long as Mr. Forte can represent you,
Yes.
I don't think there's a need to have either of you there. If we have a plan that's
I'll go
good.
on 5 through 12, and I will be back on the 12th. We don't know how late, but I'll get it worked on Wednesday. if there's anything else I can do, like the spreadsheet and the plan, I'll get that done before I leave.
Okay, so if we want to put
You
it
guys
on
are
the
all going
agenda-
away together, all right. Get it.
I get the picture now.
I'll accept the motion from someone if you want to put on the agenda.
Yeah, I'll put it on the agenda for May
Are we still
13th.
gonna be able to plant after the May 13th?
Well, right now, the way the weather's going, it looks like
It's cool, it's wet.
it's gonna get wetter.
Before it gets drier.
Yeah.
Darker before it gets lighter. Okay, good. A second for this motion?
Second.
Second, Nicole, any other discussion? James online or anybody else? Okay, hearing and seeing none. We will do a roll call vote now that one of our members is online, just for the record. James? Wow, you're really faint. Can you speak a little louder?
What are we voting on?
We're voting
This
on
wasn't-
taking what is an informational hearing about the enforcement order for 96, 100, and 104 Lake Streets and putting it on the agenda since we have been discussing a potential enforcement order at the next meeting with the hopes that there's a revised approvable planting plan that would be negating the need and an agreement to do that planting plan. So that would then negate the need to have an enforcement order, just to make it a little more
Right.
official.
It's on May 13th.
May
Also, but
13th.
we do need the the enforcement order would just be
Oh,
an
okay.
accumulation of everything. Just
See?
because we do need the enforcement order
That's-
in order to allow them to do the work in there. What?
We signed up for the enforcement?
No,
We're trying to avoid that.
no, we're not trying to avoid, you're just working with them. We
Right,
have
we're-
to have
that-
it.
well,
Yep, and I drafted some
Thank
stuff,
you.
there's
Thank
some
you.
drafted language in there. But yeah, we do need an enforcement order in order to process that, because it's not part of an NOI.
Okay.
Yep.
That clear enough, James?
Yeah, I guess I understand the strategy. I don't think we need to vote on that.
Well, we're
Well,
putting
it's
it
not
on
a-
the agenda.
Since it was only informational tonight, we wanted to make it officially an agenda item, just so it gets on the record.
Please, just vote. Please,
I did vote. I'm saying I don't think we need
David and
to.
I,
I couldn't hear you.
Nicole,
Hi.
Don,
Aye.
Ariane,
Aye.
Steve, okay, approved, all in favor, unanimous vote, great, thank you very much. Gentlemen, thank you very much.
Thank you. Enjoy your trips.
Thank you.
My card, he has a-
Since you're all gonna be together, you can work on this.
All right, the next item, if anyone's here for 43 Easy Street, please come up to the table. And we'll move right along to that item, which is an informational hearing about potential enforcement order for 43 Easy Street. Alteration of BBW and buffer zone to bank and the BBW. Cooper and Benjamin and Shannon, I will mispronounce your last name, so go ahead. Okay, thank you, are here as the applicants. So, from 43 Easy Street, so no, let's do that one. If, property owners, I guess, so would you like to explain what's going on the site and or what your conversations with Hannah have led you to?
Yeah, I mean, like, I could just
I would-
give a
Hannah-
little
Hannah
bit
can
of an
start.
intro, and then they can
Sure,
kind
right,
of
thank you, Hannah.
speak to what they would like to present. But this is just something that, I got a notification a number of months ago that there was some chicken coops potentially in wetlands and some cutting work being done over there. I made a site visit, I got in contact with Shannon. We had a site visit, unfortunately, because of the snow, it really pushed a lot back. My first site visit, we were in the snow. And then so we were just waiting for that to get some melt to be able to do another site visit. Unfortunately, the rest of the commission, you guys weren't able to make it, but Dawn and I went out there just to take some photos and look at the conditions after the snow melt. So I took a lot of photos, just so you guys kind of have an idea of what's going on over there.
Date stamp on those
What's going on?
photos? Date stamp on those photos?
It says 4/25.
Oh, it just, so this was in a Word document and it went into a PDF. That's just the date that the memo was made.
Okay,
it's
I
screwed
thought
up
as
there.
much, I was pretty sure you weren't working on it a year ago.
It screwed up the
Date stamp.
the date stamp on
Okay,
that,
thanks.
but yes. But so essentially, there's some shrubby material that was cut from along those two banks, or the two shoulder, that buffer zone to the very small stream that kind of is primarily runoff from the street or, wetlands up further a field, not on their property. So that kind of comes down into this small forested wetland system. And then kind of right along the edge of that where it transitions from their yard into the wetland is the chicken coops, and there's some fencing. The cutting was really only done along those two intermittent stream bank areas. And then there was a little bit along the back edge, but that was mostly like a little bit of shrubby material and then some vines that were between the lawn and the wetland where the chicken coop and stuff is. So that was kind of my evaluation of what's out there.
So the chicken coop isn't in your property at all?
Correct. If that piece of land belongs to Vendetti, the bus barn.
Okay.
He actually owns, along that water that we're calling a stream too. That's all him,
Okay.
from what I understand.
And I did send, when I sent the original notice of violation to Shannon, I also sent it to Vendetti, but we haven't received any response from them.
That's exactly what I would expect when it comes to.
Did you get permission from Vendetti
I
to?
did, yeah, he was very responsive. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, so he's letting you have the chicken coop beyond.
Not have it, no, I called, so the chicken coops are where existing, an existing coop already was. There's been a coop for probably 30 or so years. So we just kept using it as it was, but we got specific permission next to our driveway is where the stream area is. So I got permission about a year and a half ago now. I said, if I want to clear that and replant like useful things, would you be okay? And he said, go for it. And he said, would you like that in writing? And I said, no. But I don't think that would be a problem. I haven't contacted him since. I figured I'd see what is expected of us first before I call him and tell him what is expected of him.
And when you met with Hannah, or one of you, both of you, whatever, the other day, was most recent one. Was there any other discussion about or questions that came up that weren't already covered by Hannah as far as the scope of what was done, what has to be potentially, not that she would state that explicitly because the commission obviously is reviewing it right now, but for the first time, but did she talk about, what the violation areas are and what the concerns are by the commission? Are you clear on that?
Not, she's been great. I'm not sure I'm super clear, but I guess the biggest piece of information for us is that a woman named Ann Matthews did a property visit and gave us permission to cut down the trees.
How long
that
ago
might
was
be
that?
maybe like 5 years. It was when we cut down the first tree, which is the furthest from like it's the most in the wetlands.
Was that because it was causing a potential hazard to a building?
The first one was that,
The trees were so large that they're shadowing our house, causing moss to grow on the roof.
and some of them, so the first one, I don't know if it was a hazard, but we took it down and she came and did a site visit and then said we could cut down the trees like around the perimeter of our yard, but not to go out into where the swamp was. And that was the end of it. So honestly, I didn't know that this was protected. I didn't know there was. I just assumed because it was street runoff that it wasn't like a protected piece of wetlands, which is just ignorance on my part. So we just took the liberty to clear all the way around our lot.
And where were the pictures taken, or from what angle were the pictures taken, the first ones that you included that show like the cutting on both sides of the stream?
Yeah, so that's, I guess, if
Looking past
you're,
the house to the road.
yeah, so actually, let me pull
If
up
you go
the-
back to,
That's kind of, if you're standing like here,
So the stream goes
you're
like
looking up.
It comes from under the road.
Yeah, it comes from under the road, anyway, there's a culvert. It's
Yeah.
like runoff from the other side.
Let me pull up.
There's
the-
a drain on the
I did a
other
little
side.
sketch on the notice of violation. Let me pull that up.
Yeah, it's
you actually have the wetlands
not
noted,
just road,
on the-
it's backyard, but it's all-
notice of violation,
What was that?
page 7, January 28th. Meeting,
Oh, that the violation notice was on there? Is that what you were saying?
Yep. So you have permission to go outside your property line, because the camper is parked on someone else's property, correct?
Correct.
You have that permission?
Well, he gave us permission to utilize, we didn't draw lines on exactly where, but I asked for permission to clear all the.
Oh, this is Vendetti.
Yeah, Vendetti owns that. He owns between our house and the house next door. He owns a really weird shaped lot, but he owns everything between us. It's my understanding, just from grandma who built the house, that right behind our shed is roughly our property line. So where the camper is, I would assume is fully his. I'm not certain. But he gave us permission to clear. He said, do whatever you want with that piece of land. He didn't give it to us, but he said, go for it.
So this is just already on what you were asking.
Yeah.
This was before I was even out on site. This was just me looking at photos and checking LiDAR, but that's kind of the stream, and then that's
Yeah, and
that proximate
there's
to
a-
the wetlands. that
there's
I
like a-
looked at.
there's a,
It's like a kind of collapsed culvert.
yeah,
almost
there's a
over here.
culvert
You
and
can't really
water
even
comes
see
down
where
from.
it-
Vendetti is to the
Properties.
left
Correct.
of your
Around
house,
here.
the open area there. Well, I mean, the property that he let you work on and has. the
Yeah.
cover.
Correct, yeah, right in between.
Just to the left on
Yeah,
that
right
side,
where
yes.
his finger is
Yeah.
all Vendetti, and I think the bulk of all that wetlands is about all his too. I don't think the house lots are very large.
Mhm.
I'm gonna assume he didn't, I mean, I didn't take it that he was giving me permission to do anything to wetlands. I don't know if he just didn't know either, but I'm not holding him responsible. You know, we went and did it just with the permission to use his property.
Mhm. Any additional questions, commission members? About the photos or the information you've heard? James, pipe in if you have any questions, feel free.
I'm good, thanks.
So we're clear what's been done, timing roughly of what time period it was done in, it wasn't 15 years ago, and it wasn't yesterday. But generally within that frame. Excuse me, the question is, as part of a potential enforcement order, what information do we need to have? And usually along with like what we were just doing for the previous hearing, our informational hearing, about Lake Street, what would be the plan or desire of the commission moving forward? Or in terms of restoration or remediation or?
Are you guys on municipal sewer?
Yes. Oh, no, I'm
No.
sorry, no, we're
Septic
not.
system.
Yeah, no, we have our own septic system. Nobody on our street has town, correct?
No,
The
no.
Board of Health.
Can you bring up, page 2?
While you're doing that, Irene, go just some of that Board of Health.
Yeah, don't they have a limit on how far away chicken coops need to be from the septic system?
Yes.
Our septic system's in the front of the yard. I don't know if that
Oh, for
matters.
septic, I'm not.
That's,
I think there is, because there's just not supposed to be stuff on top. I don't think they necessarily have a bylaw that relates to that. They do have setbacks related to wetlands, which was something that was recently adopted. Yeah.
Cool.
so, that's it. Is that your camper? That little,
Yeah, it should be up.
I'm just trying to get an orientation of,
Yeah, both of those views are looking from in the woods to the.
to the street.
Yep.
Is that just a reflection of the water?
So.
There is a saucer, a sled, it looks like.
Who's eventually washing downstream.
Yeah,
That,
this is-
that needs to be bolstered up. That's just gonna,
Chips ain't doing it.
So everything that grows right there grows back really quick. It's basically weeds and thorns and thistles. That's all it's ever been. So if we just left it alone, by summer, you're gonna have growth coming right up.
How thick is the mulch there? or chips?
You know what, I had my 17-year-old spread it, but I'd guess it's maybe like 3 inches.
Okay, so it's not just a coating, it's not.
No, it's
a
not
foot
just a
deep either.
coating, it's.
Cause
it was-
stuff won't come up to a foot deep, and if it's just a coating, it may wash away before the stuff grows.
No, I'd say it's a couple inches. He's 17, so I can't tell you how even those couple inches are.
3 inches here and
Very much.
There's some ledge underneath that too.
Very much so.
Yeah,
Allegedly.
yeah, allegedly on that left-hand side of the stream.
so to
It-
pick
it's
up on
like-
Ariane's question, from the center of this water, how close is the closest chicken coop?
That
In
water,
the center of that water, the closest chicken coop is 100, maybe over 100 feet from that water right there.
It's the pictures, if you keep scrolling down behind the house, see the stone wall?
Yeah,
That's where the chicken coops are, and it's in or abutting some wetlands.
yeah, I don't think it's the stream that's the concern. I think it's the
Right.
rest.
In fact, I would venture to guess most of the wetlands are coming from all the surrounding properties in the stream. adds
Every
to it.
time we develop the kids.
There is,
Yeah,
there's 3 drains. There's one that's, the one you're looking at now, comes from across the street.
Yeah.
And there's another one that's
on the other side.
opposite,
Yep.
opposite our property, close to the other properties that come from up left.
Yep, yep,
And then
Yep.
another one that comes from between Vendetti's, guess, between Vendetti and the left side of Easy Street.
yeah, because it's almost, it's a bowl.
Yeah.
It's basically a bowl, so.
So, Hannah, can you go to page 7? Top of page 7?
Six.
So how far is the water from here?
That stream is
Not the first one.
wetlands. I
wetlands,
mean, judging by her,
This is in wetlands?
yeah, her guess is it's right there.
It's, I mean, it's really just, there's a couple areas where at this one chicken coop, they have some, forget what you call
Like
it.
cement feet,
Some-
hardware cloth.
Yeah, underneath.
But it's
you
not
can't really
cloth,
get
it's
in
wire.
there. Yeah, there's some wire under there, but everything else, I mean, you can kind of pull.
Is
Not
this
disabled,
care
but
footing
wet.
on the ground or in the ground?
On it.
Most of it, other than that one section, everything else is on top. So there's, they put some fill on top of the, I'm sorry.
So
the
in
hard
that
top.
chicken run, we
But-
put down, like a really durable metal mesh on the ground, just so that critters wouldn't come up in. Then we put some wood chips inside for the chickens poop to land on, for us to be able to clean it and deal with it.
But everything else is on the surface. There's nothing else
Yeah, we
under the
didn't dig.
surface, and a lot of the trees and shrubs and stuff that are in there are still intact. So, I mean, like walking around through the whole fenced in area, there's still, I mean, you can kind of see all
So,
the trees
Michael,
and stuff in there.
in my opinion, to answer your question, I'm gonna break it into 2 parts. The stream coming from the street into the wetlands. If natural vegetation growth will keep that from eroding in the next few months, I guess I'm okay with that. But for consistency from the board's position, we gotta get the intrusions, the chicken coops out of the wetlands.
I agree.
We, otherwise you become the poster child of violations for the town to use against us and
Yeah.
yourselves.
Okay, and just to be clear, out of the wetlands, how far?
Well, I think so.
Where's the 25?
I don't think it'll matter. I don't think we'll have enough buffer between the 25 and our house. I think there's regulations.
How far away chicken coops have to be from houses?
Yeah, they're not far from our house or our neighbor's house already.
And you
So-
have that stone wall.
That, yeah,
But I mean, there's, yeah, it's not. like a
there's
good
not
place
gonna be a
hide
spot to
for it.
move them to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm. Other,
So are you
Well-
saying that we let the growth just come back, leave the mulch,
well,
the thin out?
you said that's always been that way, the thistle and the other stuff there. When that was cleared, by you or by whomever cleared it the most recently, that's all that was taken out. No shrubs were there, no trees, no small saplings, nothing that has any kind of roots other than perennial stuff.
We took down a tree at one point, not recently.
I was under the impression when we had spoke, I don't know if I got this wrong, but that some of this like low shrubby vegetation was what had been taken out from there.
There was, along that hill,
One
there
in
was,
that pile.
That
Yeah,
pile
so there
is what was
there
taken from
that
there.
low shrub vegetation that was cut and then moved.
Okay.
Can we let that section remain as is for a period and
Monitor it.
monitor it for the summer?
I'm open to whatever suggestions the commission wants to
With
make
the
for a
provision that
plan.
if it isn't working, we then retable it.
We could phrase it,
My only worry is looking at the side slopes there.
Yeah,
That's the only worry that I
Down
have.
close to-
There's just
close
that
to the
there's
water.
nothing, so I'm unsure if it would be better to just not like huge plants by any
I don't-
means, but
There
like.
wasn't anything there.
I know we don't have any pictures or evidence that there wasn't anything, but along those slopes, there's never anything growing there.
So,
It's always.
when we say slopes, just to be clear, not where the chips are, but from the chips down to the water.
What you
Yeah,
can
that,
see
that
is
darker.
dirt.
Dark,
Yeah,
just
the
so
dirt.
we're clear, okay.
Rocks and dirt,
Is-
that's what I saw.
Yeah, nothing ever grows on that. Everything grows about 3 or 4 feet back.
When the highest water that you've ever seen in your life comes through that area, how much of that area is
I
underwater?
think last,
But the highest that comes up, I would say is it comes up a foot.
So about where
But
the,
it's
br-
torrential down.
about where the dark brown
In the
ends.
middle of a torrential downpour only, and then when the storm passes.
Right, and I just want to know for
Yeah.
the
That's what keeps
maximum.
wiping it clean.
Oh, probably.
So scouring or whatever occurs in the dark area, and the highest water that you've seen in that area is about as high as the dark areas on the sides of the slopes.
Not even that high.
Yeah, no,
That's, I can't judge a
Yeah,
full
yeah,
area
it's
just
not.
myself.
Halfway,
yeah.
halfway at most.
And what happens to the wetlands behind it? Does that go up and down?
No, this stream has a pretty good, path
Outlet.
to its outlet in the back of the neighborhood, or the back of the.
Yeah, it goes underneath
Back
the
of the
next
swamp.
street, through the swamp and underneath
Oh,
Douglas Drive.
Oh, through the wetlands and then into the next beyond.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
And it does get more defined on the other side when it crosses the.
All three of them come in and meet up and then exit the back of the swamp.
And there's another street that parallels Easy
Mhm.
Street,
Yeah,
maybe not so Easy Street.
Yeah.
there's Easy Street, just the bus barn.
Yeah.
And then there's the other road, Douglas, I think.
Douglas, yeah.
Douglas,
Yeah, right.
it goes under Douglas and continues on.
Okay, all right. How does the commission feel so far? We got a partial suggestion for one area. Steve's suggesting that we monitor potentially.
if possible, I'd like to see like some of the trash that's in the photos cleaned
Oh,
up.
yes, sorry.
Except for the. Never flying stuff. Okay, so,
Yeah, I agree.
it's the only into the area. Anyway. Okay, so that's, a cleanup of trash and debris. We've heard the chicken coops need to be removed from the wetlands areas. How many are there total?
Two.
Two, okay. The two existing chicken coops be removed as possible for
Well,
more.
there's the two big ones and then there's that.
Oh, yeah, that one,
little-
that
little
was,
tiny run
yeah, that's
the-
for like when a
the
chicken
injured.
is hurt.
I understand what you're
Yeah,
saying.
yeah.
Your chicken coops and any other associated structures.
Yes, all of it, yes.
Yeah, and any
How many
human
chickens?
man-made debris. I think
There's
that the
the
cuttings
thing.
that Hannah referred to that might have been moved. Hannah, were you referencing the cuttings that may have come from this area and been piled up in that other picture?
Yep.
Were you recommending we leave those there as just,
Oh, no, I would recommend, cause
Okay.
it's like, it's a dense brush pile, so I don't,
Okay.
I mean. It's like potentially, some sort of habitat, but I.
it could also spontaneously combust if it gets in a hot enough. So, but the pallet isn't very palatable back there in the view too. That doesn't.
That's actually,
That's somebody else's property?
Probably.
it could,
There's a lot of people that are.
I don't know, I'm not
It's a
yet.
combination.
We aren't asking you to go into other people's property and clean it up, please.
No.
Take care of whatever's on yours while we're scoping out here.
Samples.
Okay.
The neighbors love us.
I'll be
You
jealous.
want-
I'll be jealous. Okay, other recommendations, people? Speak up, please. Anybody?
Even like grass seed in that soil would be better than the current conditions.
What soil?
In this way, Like in the mulched section?
No, just row back. It's a drainage swale.
Well, so right now there's flowers growing, things that, there's random stuff already starting to pop through, like random, I don't even know, things that we couldn't see through all the brush. Also, from this view on the left side, right about where that car is, lined up with the tail end of that car, the town came in last year and cut down a handful of trees as well. So I don't know how that impacts things, but like good size, I don't know if it's one big one or I think it's a series of.
Up by the road or
Yeah.
down in?
Right in the mulch, we mulched around
Huh.
that, it's.
Interesting.
Hannah, can you zoom in right by the asphalt?
Right.
At the top there?
It looks like it's undermining the road a little
It
bit.
is.
It is, it
Yeah.
always is.
Oh, yeah, that, I
It
mean,
always
that's,
is.
that whole area is definitely.
It's ready to cave.
And the town's
I mean,
aware
you
of it.
can't see the, like, where the water's coming from.
Yeah, the water looks like it comes from underground, it just kind of like bubbles up like a baby geyser.
Yeah.
You can't see anything, but it's been like that, yeah.
Probably an over and there's collapse. You know, the town will have to get to deal with that when either residents complain enough or something gives out and they have to fix it. Okay, other. We had a suggested monitoring period for the summer for the drainage swales. Not necessarily putting any plantings along there, at this point in time.
I did just wanna, we do have some images from, that were in the notice of violation that were from September 2023. So that was, I'm assuming that some of the trees, cause she was talking about that Anne said, oh yeah, you can take down some trees. I'm assuming there's
not
some,
those ones.
those dead, oh, it wasn't the
No,
dead
they were,
ones?
it was down in the back where the fire pit is, like
Oh, okay.
literally the furthest tree into
Behind
the
those
wetlands.
The dead ones, is that what? the
There was a
town took?
series of dead ones
'Cause that-
along the water
Yeah.
hanging over, but
Right.
no, this one was the furthest out, where you took our first soil sample out
Yeah.
by the fire.
Yep, in that corner.
Was where the first tree came down, and that is the one time she came and did a property visit, was for that tree that was most in the wetlands.
But yeah, so other than like those couple trees.
So
that
yeah, the
mostly looks dead, there's like a
the
little.
town
bit
took
that
down the
left.
dead one.
Those
Okay.
ash
Of the
trees.
series of dead
Yeah.
ones, and
Right.
there's still
Yeah.
some trees that are still there.
So that's it's just like low.
So the stuff that you've cleared out, the swale is right behind that sign, in the
Under,
trash can?
yeah,
Yes.
Okay, so what's now, it's all cleared there now, whereas a couple 2 years ago, that's the vegetated area and so forth. Yeah, I don't see any big trees. What you took out was mostly shrubbery and
yeah, a
that
lot of prickle
Yeah.
things that.
green
climb
briar
into
and
the
stuff like that,
driveway,
nasty.
into the road.
Okay.
If we leave it alone, that'll come back like it's nobody's business.
Oh, yeah, green briar will definitely, everything. Yeah,
Is there, Nicole, could we do something, could something be done to that to improve it? So it's a bit more sightly and stable than that.
Fix the culvert. I don't know how much digging and stuff you wanna do around that, you know, it doesn't look very stable. I mean, are you talking like farther away from that?
up in the chip area.
Well, this will just return to the eyesore that prompted the removal.
Yeah.
I mean.
So
I
is there-
to me.
If
You
we're-
could do some
Practice green.
stabilization replacements, like plant
I'm
some
just
shrubs or
curious if-
something.
Would you all be able to and agree with that idea? Because you'd have to help,
Have Vendetti pay for it.
well,
Well, no, he gave us permission to clear it.
well, no,
What do you have to have to
I'm not
say?
saying that, we want to make sure it succeeds, so part of any planting plan usually involves a monitoring period of a couple of years, 2 to 3 years, to make sure the stuff's at least 75% or whatever is in the enforcement or order of conditions, states that success rate, so we don't expect 100% success rate if we want to succeed, and you're the most local people to it and wanting to maintain it. Is that something that has some appeal to you, to improve the area
Local.
where the chips are?
Where
I
the
think,
chips are?
not down into the water, because that is a drainage. You know, we want that to continue to flow, we don't want to block with trees.
My only thought was just, yeah, like if there were a couple shrubs or something that could go in there.
Something-
Stabilize it.
Stabilize with the root
Right.
system, so there's not anything additional coming in.
Correct.
I mean, I agree that
But
that
no, low bush
drainage
berry.
thing is.
Will that choke out the wild growth that is gonna, or?
Choke out with a
I'm
couple
just
of-
talking about like a couple.
It's gonna be like Oriental bittersweet. like growing in there.
I think Greenbrier,
So-
whatever is coming up there wildly and thickly, quickly, is just saying, have a fight on its hands with whatever. Make it look a little better and I hope stabilize the soil, but half dozen or
I'd like,
dozen.
like, just
Bush
kind of
blueberries.
jumpstart that a little bit, so there's some woody
Blueberries.
growth that's in there. That's the.
And it might take off. I mean, it might be doing very well. Right amount of soil, right amount of sunshine and water, certainly occasionally coming from the. All right.
So do we have, what's that?
It gets sun.
It gets full sun all day. I cleared it out because I wanted to put something purposeful there, like blueberry bushes or something that we could utilize. I was like, can I put fruit trees? Can I put bushes? And he said, do whatever you want. I don't know what would actually help stabilize or what we're allowed to do, so we would have done it, but I didn't want to go.
Blueberries are fine. I mean, that's what the natives that we usually recommend anyways.
You know, wetlands.
High bush would probably be what you would want for if you want to use the fruit.
Right.
You can't eat low bush.
They're,
They're
the,
tiny.
yeah, the mice and
Yeah,
stuff
they
pick them
look
off before
big.
you touch them.
How about a mix?
Yeah.
Is there anything else edible that you recommend that would actually serve the purpose of helping the soil?
Nothing that won't take off.
raspberry?
Yeah. Oh, I hate
Raspberries or
So there are
blackberries?
there are
Cause birds are spreading
raspberries.
them everywhere.
unless you like
Blackberries and
dig
raspberries.
a, sheet of metal 2 feet into the ground all the way around where you're gonna put the raspberries, I don't recommend it.
Well, could have-
Oh, so
Basin.
they were already down there.
Yeah, I was gonna say, they're probably already
Down.
there.
I can see in the brush pile the dead stalks. We have a patch that we uncovered already, so I think some of those would be
Well, I
easy
had-
to pull out too.
Just like case in point, I've taken the blackberries that kind of look like raspberries, but they're blackberries.
Mhm.
And I planted raspberries in them. And the raspberries, at least the ones that I did, took away a lot of the blackberry, like they competed in the same
Yes.
space.
Mhm.
But now I have a mix. So I don't know if that would.
Is that something we'd be allowed, like, I would love that. I'd prefer that if it's gonna be brushy and crazy, I'd prefer.
As opposed to just the green briar
Right, they're
and
pretty.
the,
Yeah, the only thing is just native.
Right.
Well,
Have to
so
be
like
native.
Huckleberries.
Huckleberries.
Well, I would actually pull from the ones that were already down there. There's ones that are-
Elderberry.
Can I make a proposition,
No, you can make a suggestion.
suggestion
I don't
that
do propositions.
we postpone this to the next meeting, giving this couple
Applicant.
a chance to put together a plan for
And
that area.
Nicole can give you a card, which you could communicate. She's an arborist, just so you
I
know, she's an expert.
recommend giving anyone cards just to.
Okay,
Right.
or communicate.
Take advantage of
Keep
her.
an eye on an email and.
Right, or I was gonna say, or an
Just to
email,
keep it
but
all-
I'm only mentioning cards because you mentioned it before the other day.
I mean, you get accused of drawing up this for myself.
No, I wanted to, she's an arborist, she's on the commission, she can provide you with some specific species and types of plants that would not only be probably approved by the commission as something, but also something that you support having there, so it's a win-win. And that if we can come back by the next meeting with
So
that.
we go away on
Okay.
Tuesday for 2
Everyone's
weeks.
going away.
I know.
You guys all
We're
going
not-
together?
We're gonna be
Laughing, we're
gone
gonna say we're gonna
The
be there.
28th through the 7th,
Okay,
so we're gone quite a.
So what's the next meeting after the 7th?
well, no,
15th.
they're.
That's a Friday.
The 13th.
13.
The 13th,
Is,
Right.
is
That
the
might
be too
26th
soon.
the one that we canceled?
Yeah, I get.
Well,
The town meeting.
I
think so.
Nicole, planting season for.
I was gonna
Like going there.
That's fine. I mean, I
Okay.
plant all the way through the summer as long as you're willing to water it.
Okay,
You
so
know,
given the
that's what it comes
location,
down
how
to.
close the house is, there's, I don't wanna say you don't water from the drainage of it, it is. I don't think there's a pressure to meet at on 13th. Unlike other hearings where you've been hearing what goes up to. So if we want to go to the next meeting, we do, the second May meeting is canceled because of, or will be canceled because of the town
You
meeting.
did cancel it, yep.
Right, we're required to go to the town meeting as members. And so the next meeting would be what date? Somebody look at
Of the
June.
13th.
June,
Oh, June.
yeah, because the May 13th, we skip
I was
the,
gonna say, let
That would
me pull
be
that up,
better.
that's a little bit further than I have.
so,
June
10th
10th.
and 24th.
yeah, it's, I believe June 10th would be the next Concom meeting. Would you be in town available? Okay, that gives you plenty of time to come up with a plan, go back and forth. Well, we got mulch down there.
And I don't-
Potentially anyway.
Well, I don't know, you guys know more than I do, but we've had some pretty good rain and the snow melting, and you can see at one point where the water came straight off the street over that culvert. So it didn't actually touch those hills. And you can see where it cleared, but other than that, like in some, I think you pointed it out while you were there, right, where the stream goes, but it actually, it didn't wash, I mean, we didn't clear the stream, like no mulch has moved, we did this in the fall, so it's not a large window, but nothing.
hasn't really moved.
Nothing,
Yeah,
we haven't, you don't really get,
Oh, yeah.
less than an inch anymore.
I did today.
Yeah. So, as one of the commission members just mentioned, it'd be in addition to what, both the planting plan and, thing, be nice to have something in writing about a condition for, cleaning up in the back area there and so forth, moving chicken coops certainly, but it's sketch, and it's at a time period, usually in this kind of situation where we're talking about enforcement, we like to have it defined for everybody, say your sake, our sake, we know it's moving along, and that progress is being made. And if we need to meet on the tenth, for this, because that's your next availability, or gives us enough time, I don't push it 2 days after you come back, or 3 days after you come back to meeting. That the question Ariane had brought up was just now was about erosion control between now and then, and monitoring that and or preventing potential concerns you might have about it. Based on what you just heard about this, do you feel better about that? The people right there, except for you just there? Because frankly, planting anything won't stop if it's an erosion issue right now, this is gonna take years for stuff to grow. So with a fairly thick, although we're not sure exactly how consistently thick, layer of chips on the most likely to erode spots, the upper slopes there.
How long has
question is,
it
what
been
else
the
do we
way it
do?
is?
just since the fall.
Do now, it's possible.
Through the winter?
Yeah, through the whole winter, we did it, I mean, before the frost.
I mean, what I see is like an eroded channel that is going through more erosion and will keep eroding, even if it's not visible.
I mean,
on the
just
beach.
to kind of move it along for the 10th, I could put together a very generalized enforcement order so that when they come with, you know, a little bit more of a plan, it could just be potentially approved at that meeting and then get plantings in as soon as possible, if that makes sense to everyone.
Is it possible to have them put out some sort of like sediment erosion controls?
Not sure if you look at the pictures, if it is helpful, but you can see that there's not a wood chip in the water anywhere. You know, I don't know, is it the wood chips you're worried about moving, or does the soil come out from under the wood chips?
It's more like the soil at the bottom of the stream bed and on the sidewalls.
Right, so I'm just not sure, like,
In the stream.
versus, yeah, if you're like, do you wanna put that in the stream bed? Otherwise, I'm not sure what other methodology you could use to reduce that. I think a lot of the channeling is from just stuff coming out of that culvert, and having the vegetation along the side, I think will long-term keep stuff in place better, but just for short-term, I think the mulch might be okay, but you know, I obviously open to, if James has any other recommendations for that, but I
Like
I
perennial.
don't know what else you could use.
Is
in the
water
can.
running off your driveway?
Just like expecting we'll get
Into the,
category now. Unfortunately, water goes on the other side of our house,
That would
for our
I-
grass
I-
more than it goes in that.
Everything in town, yeah, okay, all right, so. Again, this is an informational hearing at this point in time, we're looking to have information provided, do we want to do what we did at the last? For the last hearing, and make a motion to put it on the agenda? Or this would be probably the June 10th meeting? And if so,
You need to.
I don't know if you need to, but what does James have to say about that? James doesn't on the bus call.
The next.
Can I ask one last question, as far as if we wanna start pulling brush? Get rid of all of it, there's just one still fairly large pile from about 5 years ago. I don't know, as that's probably totally decomposed on the bottom, if we still move it or if we leave that one.
Do you mean?
It would be
This
just
one or-
outside of
or
the
this
chicken
one?
fencing.
To the left?
To the left of
Yeah,
that large
yeah.
tree, that's been there.
I'd
from-
leave it.
Yeah, that's been there.
Yeah, I think that's probably animal habitat by
I
now.
think
You
so.
probably have salamanders in there.
I would assume.
Yeah, because it was decomposing when we were there.
It's,
And
that's.
I was like,
the
all right,
first
that's
tree.
probably animal habitat right now.
Proposing, it's a wrong thing to say.
So more that these new piles along the
Yeah.
stream, yeah, everything that's fresh and not breaking down. Yeah, that right there, that's.
Snow
good
shovel
stuff.
something.
Right.
Yeah, we'll get the snow.
There's a salamander living under that stone.
You should have seen it when there was snow. It looked so pretty out there.
Oh, I bet it did.
It's different, that's for sure.
It sure did.
That's what it's like every year. Every
Okay,
year.
well, if
snows.
the commission doesn't want to put this on the agenda, I'm fine with that. I just asking.
Well, put it on there, I just don't think you have to vote.
So we'll come back
Just in the
June
interest
10th,
of moving along.
7
Okay.
PM. Alright.
So do we have to remove that pile or can we just spread it out?
That pile of brush, no, we want to remove it. I don't think you can really spread it out with causing. I don't know how big an area you'd have to spread it to and, you know.
We don't want you to spread it into the.
Generally piles like that and or any man-made stuff like snow shovel piles, stuff what a fresh pile of
Mhm.
stuff, we'd ask them to move. If it was lawn clippings, for example, somebody just dumped over an embankment into a conservation area and we saw it was freshly dumped, we'd ask them to remove the
Mhm.
pile with grass clippings. If it had been done 5 years ago and was practically, and no signs of it left, we'd probably leave it because it'd be more of a disruption to move it, but that looks like it would be less of a disruption since it was fairly
It's
freshly
new.
done.
And the chickens gone by June 10th or what?
The what?
Chickens?
What kind of a time frame do we have?
Yeah, the chickens, I mean, it might take a little while, you might want a little bit more structure of a plan to.
Well, that's
the
what she
chicken.
was gonna provide.
Right, but so she was saying for June 10th, do you want the chickens removed? So
I would not be opposed to it, but I'm not gonna require it.
I think she can maybe come up with a plan to be like, we'll have them removed by X, just so we have something, because I mean, that's kind of hard to do.
If the chickens are moved
Yeah.
by
Right, that's the,
summer.
there's like a little bit of. there.
It is like animal welfare, like, you know,
We
it's
can-
like,
we can
they like
have the-
chickens, you know?
Having the chickens removed is not the problem. It's
Oh,
taking care of everything else.
Well, yes, there's gonna be a lot of labor for us, so we'll have a lot to figure
is
out.
there any way you can?
You got 17-year-old stuff?
We have a 17-year-old.
The red box will be-
Yes.
Just don't feed them till after they.
Mhm. Yeah, we'll be paying.
Okay, all right, anything else? We'll just put this on the agenda and we were not gonna vote on putting it on the agenda since nobody wants to do that, so that's fine.
Thank you.
Thank you,
And
guys.
thank you
Sorry
very
about the
much.
situation, but.
Keep in touch with us and Hannah and good luck in your,
Thank you.
thank you.
Alright, next hearing.
Okay, we're gonna have a fairly quick read-in because we've done this a couple of times before.
Hey, what about-
Oh, very bad.
Like Ryan Charlie,
You're in the lemon. Chickens, the chicken poop, it's just.
They had been there for 30 years.
We're continuing
Probably not.
everything until this one.
Oh, right, so this is a small project, right, just a 1 acre.
Is it like flannel Wednesday and we missed a memo or?
I came this close to grabbing a flannel, but it's cold and it's.
We're losing the season.
Mine had red, more red than blue.
1 through
I live
14.
in the-
Not cool enough though.
No, I'm not, I never claimed to be.
13 block, 13 now.
Kind of.
Hold on a second.
All right, so there's a couple.
All right, we're
Most of
gonna,
them aren't new though.
we're gonna continue. What?
Do that.
Go ahead. Ariane's gonna read something.
So we're gonna open these, or we're gonna continue these hearings for Mechanic Street and Mill Street. To the evening of 13th.
I would read all of them
Yeah.
out.
I'm going to,
Oh,
but
okay.
I just wanna confirm.
Yep,
Okay,
for the
so the
13th, yeah.
following maps. Oh, nope, just kidding.
Lots.
Red Mill, this one doesn't have a lot.
Right, it's the order of conditions amendment request.
What's
So it's
going on?
that's the overall one.
So the order of conditions amendment requests for Mechanic Street and Mill Street, map 31, lot 13-1, Red Mill and Charles. Amendment requests for adjustments to roadway, stormwater management, infrastructure and site grading. Applicant Full Northeast V Corp. And representatives Brad Madden. So that one will be continued to 5/13 pending vote, but we are also continuing the hearings for construction of single-family homes within 100-foot buffer zones of BBW and other resource areas. Applicant Toll Northeast B Corp. Representative Brian Madden, LEC Environmental. For lot 8, lot 9, lot 10, lot 11, lot 12, lot 13, lot 15, lot 16, lot 17, lot 18, and lot 19 of Red Mill on the Charles.
In lot 14, right, 14.
Yeah.
You said.
Oh,
You didn't say 14.
it's on a separate page
Okay.
in lot 14. All right, so again, lots 8 through 14. Thanks. And then the order of conditions amendment request. Continued once again to the evening of May 13th. Can I get a so moved?
So moved.
Can you just repeat that?
No.
Do you want to second it?
Second,
All right. Any other discussion?
continuation of page 2 and 3 of the agenda.
Well, page 3 goes all the way to lot 21 and,
Right, but those aren't being continued.
right, those aren't being continued.
Okay,
Is there any other,
vote.
wait, any other discussion? You just
No.
not first. Okay, James. Roll call.
Aye.
Steve.
Aye.
Ariane,
Aye.
Don,
Aye.
Nicole stepped out, so we'll abstain from that vote, my guy. Unanimous vote. Okay, those will be continued to the 13th. Sure, you don't worry about the rest of them. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going.
Okay,
Ready.
so now we will. We have a motion and vote, and thank you. Those will be continued to the 13th. So now we have. The next item on the agenda is for new hearings. For notice of intent. For lot 20 of Red Mill, for a number of lots, which I'll read off. All of which are regarding construction of a single family home within a riverfront area. The applicant is Toll Northeast V Corp. Brian Madden from LEC is the representative tonight. And the following lots are involved. Lot 20 of Red Mill and Charles Mechanic Street, map 31, lot 13-1. Lot 21. And lot. One second.
67.
60s, yeah, I was gonna make sure that I want to make sure that I get the number right. Yep, lot 67, and that is it for tonight. Those three are now open for hearing. For this hearing. Brian, go right ahead, Nicole, just walk back in with that.
Thank you. For the record, Brian Madden from LEC Environmental. And I'm Ted Merchant, Land Development Director with Toll Brothers. I'm standing in for Jeff, who you've seen to date, but he's on vacation.
Okay,
I'll share my screen here.
we'll let you do that.
Yes, we only have 3 lots before you this evening.
Looks like a lot more, but I'm glad you spent back on, thanks.
And for the record, for the amendment request, I believe the peer review for the stormwater may have wrapped up. I don't think we've yet seen the report.
Amy actually left before I
Oh.
got off my calls today, so I didn't even get the chance to ask her.
It may have been released, but no one's seen it. But that should be forthcoming, and hopefully that's a major domino that will ease everyone's review moving forward here. Just as a reminder, this is a continuation working clockwise around the westerly development of the residential subdivision. For lots 20 and 21, we last left off on 19, but this is the general area. Riverfront area to the unnamed perennial stream that flows south to north through the central portion of the site. And lots 20 and 21, I will zoom in. Reduce. So very minimal amount of work activity within the outer riverfront area. This lot. Again, the highlighted area in green is about 399 square feet. No structures or outdoor living use area are located within the outer 200-foot riverfront area. just some minimal regrading and lawn with irrigation and the footing drain out in the backyard. Within that outer edge.
Is that a knee wall, like select?
Yeah, where we last left off on 19, we talked about the wall and there was a lot of questions by the commission. We are currently looking into that and we'll be providing additional information on the long-term maintenance and obligations therein. We're reviewing internally and we'll provide more information at upcoming meetings.
Thank you.
And that will kind of overlap into other lots. But you can see here, this is the continuation of that retaining wall.
But does it taper down and then go away? Am I reading that wrong?
No, you're correct. Yeah,
Okay.
you
Yep.
basically lose it with
And
the
then it
grade.
picks it up in 21.
Exactly, and then a new wall picks up on it. So that's it for 20. Pretty simple lot. All things considered, I'll just pause for questions before moving on.
The footing drain, I know I asked this about others, but so the footing drain, that's gonna drain into what eventually becomes the wetlands. And is that only from the water on that property and adjacent, or is it?
It's just collecting any excess water that builds up on the foundation. It's not collecting roof runoff.
Okay, so it's like a French drain.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's just like a, overflow safety valve.
Yeah, there's no culvert there. What made me think about it was that last presentation and the culvert under the road.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, and this is a combined footing drain that connects a series of structures. And if you remember, this footing drain system daylights on lot 14.
Will these houses have like sub pumps in them? Is the water table high or?
The intention is that the footing drain is gonna take care
Is
of
gonna
all
take
that,
care of
and
it,
then we
and-
wouldn't put a sump pump in there, though I think we allow the option for that to happen, like we'll have pit available within the home, but we wouldn't supply the sump pump because we think the footing drain is gonna take care of it all.
Yeah, okay.
Thanks for the question. And any other for lot 20? All right. Moving down to the south. Again, a very small area within the outer 200-foot riverfront area, very similar in nature. 234 square feet. And then you have the pickup of the retaining wall that extends onto 22, where no work activity occurs within the riverfront area. If you can, the limit of work basically overlaps with it. But very small work footprint here and just very similar to what we just discussed.
Questions?
Hearing none, I'll move on to lot 67. So lot 22 is the last southerly lot of the westerly development footprint before we have the roadway connection moving to the eastern lobe portion of the site. It has that perennial stream crossing that's to be upgraded that was previously approved. And lot 67 is the first lot you come across on the east side of the development. Let me just zoom in here. So here it is,
Okay.
here.
Yep. So
And
it's feeding in from that side.
exactly, same resource area. It's the riverfront area with that central perennial stream, just the opposite side of it. And I will zoom in on the detail.
Wow, it's really good.
We're not that blind.
I'm not as. So here we are, that northwesterly corner of the lot. So we have some regrading, extending in the riverfront area. That total is just just over 1,207 square feet. But the bolder black line is the retaining wall that was previously approved as part of the original subdivision. The new extension is just off lot, that's part of the amendment request, is just north of lot 67. And again, similar questions that were raised at the last meeting, we'll be providing answers to those shortly. Just zooming in on the outdoor living use areas that are within the riverfront area, the house itself. This footprint right here is outside of the riverfront area. It's the square block that's partially within. And you can see the 20-foot rear setback and the 10-foot side yard setback. That would need to comply for any deck or stairs, but we have a conceptual footprint for a deck and stairs. But the rectangular block with that crosshatched area within the riverfront area could be patio, being a max build out scenario.
Right, they would never be enclosed, right? You know, like somebody says, I wanna turn it into a sunroom, or I wanna make that into an addition.
Within the zoning setback, that could be allowed. Yeah, you could have an enclosed deck, but going beyond the setback, it would definitely.
Okay.
So, yeah, we did contemplate this full build out scenario that there could be a enclosed porch back area.
So, Brian, you've got a fairly good downward slope from the road to the retaining wall. Where is that water going? Over the wall?
Yeah, let me zoom into 1 second.
Yeah, 8-foot drop.
The road's at 266, you're down to 250 in the back.
Oh, 250, I thought it was 258.
That's gonna feed a fair amount of. I assume the other lots are similar.
Yeah, so in the rear of that lot, top of wall is 250, bottom of the wall is 244, so 6 foot. At the corner, it's about 7.7 feet. Typically, you'd have some weeping holes in the
I was
wall.
gonna ask, so
Yeah, it's 266, right, at the.
Front of the house.
Front of the house and the
Oh, yeah.
road, so while sloping from the street down back towards the back there, where to the retaining wall, is there always a pool up there? Rush by the side of the house there on the left and right potentially, and then,
There should be a small swale that gets created around the top of that wall, so it doesn't wash over the top. I think structurally that's not optimal, so I think you would have something graded around the side, so I can't see that lot 68 next to it, it would wrap around 68 and discharge.
Yeah, no, 68. The block retaining wall would be set in stone, almost acting like a French drain itself, but we can provide a little bit more clarity on that drainage. And Liz Clark, the engineer, can provide a little bit more info on that drainage.
and street runoff. Just making its way through and into the.
It's a curved street with
Right.
lot change.
Well, I want to see those details at some point.
Okay, they're part of the amended site plan.
Yeah, I think that that would probably be covered in the stormwater peer review, but yeah, everything.
What will the lip of the driveway look like?
So it has been designed from the house, the front of the garage to the road, that there would be a gradient towards the street. So there'd be runoff towards the street and that would be captured.
But from that.
You can kind of see a
266
small little contour right here.
Yep.
It kind of builds it up a little bit. But that's how everything is designed, at least from the structure, kind of pitches down the driveway towards the road.
14 feet of, that's over a short period of, over a short length, that's a pretty steep.
but from one side of the road to from the front of the house to the side of the road, the far side of the road, it's all 266, correct?
Correct.
Yeah,
So
I'm
it's
not
pretty
seeing
flat in
that.
the front, and he's saying they're putting a berm in or some sort of lift right
Yeah,
below
from
number
the-
67.
Yeah, from the front of the house to the road is flat.
But they're going to make an effort to have it
Yeah,
go
it's
towards
like-
the road,
I
he
see.
said,
Yeah, but everything from the house
back.
back to the north, yes, there is.
And look at the next property, I know we're not talking about it, but that's all the way to 240, 246.
But we can provide a little bit more detail on that.
Yeah, House 67, and even as Don is just saying, even though we're not really reviewing 68 at this moment, since the two are connecting, you're talking about potentially having a swale go across. Just be nice to have a total picture of that area there and how things would flow and go and structures and even, could it from the curbing on the street and how much water that would capture and keep. And then I assume there's a drainage. Is that a C, right? No, what's the small circle right out from the front door, or whatever, in the middle of the street there? Is that a, right? Yeah, right there. Yep.
That's a sewer manhole, but
Oh,
there's a
sewer.
catch basin in front of lot 68.
Is there? Okay, I kept trying to, oh yeah, okay. So it flowed down from 67 to 68 once it's back onto the street from the front of the house. So what they got you.
Yeah, you can kind of see, I don't have it in this image,
Now,
but
68 is outside the 200.
Right, but we're saying if it's gonna flow behind 67 and into 68.
Yeah, yeah.
I think we have the right and need to look at just that, and that's an easy presentation.
yeah, I mean, that does flow off lot, so it does, it's part of the overall drainage design. But yeah, once you get north of 68 to that 246 contour, that's a good daylight point. That's all within the previously disturbed area as part of the gravel pit. Just outside of Riverfront, which comes in at this angle. But yeah, you certainly wouldn't want any standing water pulling up against the retaining wall that would have some weeping holes and or overflow over. We had also talked at the last meeting about whether or not to be railings along the top of the wall. We'll be providing more detail on that as well.
I would think at a certain height, you might.
It's required, any retaining wall, I think 42 inches requires a fence on the top of it, so, yeah, these would all.
So you don't want to turn it into like one of those horizon pools where it floods and it looks really pretty.
You mean the infinity pools? Infinity pools, yeah.
Do you have to have a certain type of fence? Like, does it have to be chain link?
No, it doesn't have to be chain link. I think the building inspector has to approve the type, and I don't know that it's detailed on our plans yet, but we'd like to use like a ornamental aluminum fence.
Critters, they can go and jump off the wall.
This was, again, who becomes the owner of that?
That's what they're working on.
We'll be providing definitive answers to that.
There, here again.
The erosion protection, that puts down, do you guys pull that up or is it left to break down?
We pull it up at the
Pull
end,
it up,
probably.
yeah.
Yeah, I think we talked at the last meeting, that would be certainly a gating item to get a COC.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's overlap going from the cumulative residential subdivision to the individual lots. I think there's enough homeowners out here that are not gonna be like looking at black silt fence.
Yeah.
So. Get Peter.
Okay. So that's it, the development's done. Wishful thinking.
Kept it easy for the.
Yeah, you did, that was nice, that was.
The long night already.
Yeah, that's appreciated.
Say, Sure. Agenda, I probably would have put it a little higher.
How many more will come before us? It was, I forgot
We
the
got-
total
Yes,
count.
total of 35.
We're
We're
not quite halfway through,
All right, so we're not, okay, I'm just trying to. keep
almost
track.
at that.
almost.
I'm glad it's not 200, so.
And I just heard that the meeting on the 27th is postponed.
Yeah,
Okay.
we have no choice, yeah.
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 I think that was on the last, it was on the last agenda and then it was at the top of the agenda, well, two agendas ago that it was on the notes, they voted on it.
Oh, okay.
And then last agenda, we put like a little note at the top, just,
We have our town meeting.
yeah, we have town meeting, so they had to cancel.
So I mean, we will request continuance unless there's any other questions to the May 13th meeting. Being aware of,
Yeah.
multi-page agenda. hopefully at that point, we're able to possibly close some of these, because we do have file numbers for our first, lots 8 through 19.
To actually start building?
No, close.
Right, no, but you have, because you have permit numbers, you said, for,
Yeah, we have permit numbers, it's contingent upon the peer review, if there's a ripple effect that, some grading changes that continue onto the lots. Or if it's specific to like the stormwater basins themselves, we would, if the commission's comfortable, maybe start to look to close out some of these to.
I thought you were jumping to the construction, sorry.
No.
Because correct me if I'm wrong, but the original order for the project required that the roadway and stormwater management structures be completed all the way through to Mechanic Street prior to construction of any dwellings, right?
Prior to first CO, I don't believe it's prior to start of construction. That's just my recollection of it.
Okay.
And the phasing plan, I believe, is being updated through the planning board.
But the same concept still prevails.
Okay. All right, so we have a motion, potentially accept a motion to continue this hearing to. Well, wait a minute, no, the ones that we've already agreed to continue to the 13th are what's gonna be on the next agenda anyway, so. Unless you were gonna provide anything new, other than the ones that we've just 8 through. what Was it 15, 14? 8 through 14 that we just voted and approved to continue to the evening of the 13th. Then we've already made motions, I think, that we need to, unless I'm wrong.
Oh, we have
So
to make a
they
motion.
just opened these three
These are
hearings. so
different.
you have
Oh,
to-
these three, right, no, after doing that, no, I meant after doing that. Just to continue on to the next meeting, because Brian just mentioned something so lost, you continue to the 13th, I'm thinking, we just did that for a whole bunch of them. Okay, all right, so, any other questions about these three lots that we just talked about, looked at, and I presented? Okay. Let's hit motion, who wants to make one? Closing,
Not close.
no, not close.
Too much to read, but I'll second it.
I'll make a motion to continue the hearings for lots 20, 21, and 67 of Red Mill on Charles, Mechanic Street, and Mill Street to the evening of May 13th.
Second that.
Thank you, any other discussion? Hearing none, saying in, James,
Aye.
Nicole,
Bye.
Don,
Aye.
Ariane,
Aye.
Steve, Mike, aye. All right, yeah, vote, thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
13th. Last night, guys.
Any, just a great general question, any consideration for a makeup meeting for the 27th, or is everything just gonna be questioned?
Nothing's been brought up, if one of the commission members is excited by that idea enough to bring it up right now, they can do so.
Is there something of urgency that?
No, I'm just, again, these things will start to stack up and we kind of wanna.
You mean more than they already are stacking up?
So from a procedure perspective, how do you break these up? Can they be done individually from an approval perspective? Or are they done collectively? I've
think
never
it
done
makes
anything as a
sense
thing
to-
before.
Like, I mean, we could have some standard, I'll prep the orders of condition
Yeah.
beforehand, but I would, issue each of them. Yeah,
Yes,
like,
they-
you know,
and-
I'll get a
I
stamp
wouldn't,
made up.
I wouldn't batch.
Yeah, like,
Individual
they've been looked at.
Right. So if like we have an issue with one of the properties,
Yep.
like the batch,
All
we
right,
can still do the order.
right, we can still do the other one. Okay, good, thank
Well,
you.
they were opened as a group, I think
Yes,
they've
yeah.
been reviewed
They're
individually.
just opened as a group right now because like they're all saying.
Yeah, no, it's helpful actually to see in the context of everything.
But on the 13th, if you'd like to read them each, Don, separately, we'll let you do that, we have guest speakers in, on commission. Okay,
I don't know.
thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you,
So
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Take care.
All right. Sir,
Yes, sir. I'm Bill Roberts, a resident of Bellingham down 70 Archer Street. I'm not here for that purpose right now. I'm here for the Town Parks Commission. I received a phone call last night. And I still haven't received the letter that I asked, letter of intent. The girls softball organization, because of Mr. Frame passing, has suggested that we name a field up at High Street. Since you people bought the fields, I have you listed up there as an advertisement that it's conservation land. All right, I wanted to make sure that you understood that we are going to process that request. They're going to have a presentation of the field. This is like I'm saying, I just found out about last night. Their board has talked about it and opened it up for action. And that's basically trying to have it dedicated for May 3rd.
So other than a ceremony and the town,
That's all it's gonna be, is a flag put up on the field area.
yeah,
But I just wanna tell you that that's what's going to be done.
Thank you.
And that's why he showed up.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you, your patience,
No, I
getting an opportunity to sit through this wonderful meeting, just to tell us that. Thank you so much, Dr.
Yeah, no, I didn't have a chance to call ahead and make a request to demonstrate with you, so I said, well, I'll just take my turn. It's a long one.
Oh, I got a nap.
But anyways, I will be at your office tomorrow afternoon, probably, hopefully. I would like to follow up on my neighbor. I don't want to disturb you any longer yet, more things to do.
thank you very much.
But I just want to stop in and say hello and also
Thank you.
tell you what the Parks Department's going to sign off on. And it hasn't even been really officially recorded with me to say that they're making a request, and I'm going to forward and hand carry through to get it done for their opening day.
Oh,
So
We don't officially need to do anything, right?
no, it's just for your.
Yeah, I appreciate the courtesy that I want to make sure we don't, are we supposed to go?
I suspect they'll put the plaque out in left field since this came out of nowhere. Anyway.
Wow.
No, I think
I think that one up, Jeff, yeah.
I think it's
No, that's
wonderful.
really the only reason I stopped by outside of that to say.
Wow, thank you.
I
Thank you.
Unfortunately, just got home from work, so supper will be on the table tonight.
Oh, there you go.
Late night,
Yes.
late night, so.
Well, once again, I thank you very much for your
Oh, you're
time.
welcome.
I'm
Thank you.
sorry for my voice.
No,
I lost it somewhere up in the New York woods in August, and I haven't gotten it back since. Have a good evening.
You too,
thank
take
you.
care,
Have a nice
thank
night.
you.
Thank you very much.
Good, that's.
What was your name again, sir?
Pardon?
What was your name again?
According to town paperwork, it's William Lewis Roberts.
Roberts, that's, I got William, but
When
okay, thank you.
I have a meeting, that's what I state, because I was told I had to use that.
Oh, your official name.
My official name, yes.
What's your unofficial name?
Bill,
Bill.
depending upon age, of course. The
Mr.
young men that I coached many years ago, 13 years ago, still call me Mr. Roberts, or coach. So I mean, I've enjoyed my time here in Bellingham since 1978.
Wow.
There you go.
And I've been a board commissioner in town for a few years, and I'm still a commissioner or a constable in town.
Keep them busy. Thank you
Give
for,
me something to do outside.
thank you for your service.
Have a good day.
Capacity. Thank you.
You too, thank you.
Thank you, Ann. Bill. Okay. Other business, so we can
Yeah, we got some
wrap
interesting
things up,
on here.
couple quickies, I think.
Wasn't there one other? Lake
But-
Huron?
There's Lake UApp, but the applicant's not here.
Well, you still have to open it.
I will open it,
Okay.
but your hand's prepared to speak on it, I assume, and tell us the summary.
What's- Well, if they.
Continued hearing for notice of intent, Lakeview Ave, map 65 lot 17, construction of a single family home within buffer zone to BBW Quarry Development as the LLC is the applicant and Seth LaJoy and Associates is the representative. Seth is not here, but Hannah has an update for us.
Yeah, the update is no update. I mean, they didn't even request a continuation this time. I got the complete radio silence, so. I mean, we haven't gotten any new information since September on this. This is,
I'll entertain a motion to continue it to June 10th.
Yep.
okay.
I'll second that.
And I would just Oh, maybe we opened the hearing, we got stuck, oh wait, you did open the hearing.
Yep.
I'm sorry, my brain's starting to decompose,
It's
but.
almost done, yeah.
Hannah, when's the last time we heard anything from them?
What?
I mean, he's attended meetings for different projects and just
Right.
request continuation. The last time we've had any updated plans was back in September when he added those trees to the plan. And since then, it's been multiple times of,
And
yep,
isn't-
I'm gonna get it to you next week, I'm gonna get it to you next month. Oh, yep, I have a couple more things to work out. And now it's just gone radio.
Okay, so just to be clear, because I think we sort of talked about this earlier today, Hannah, briefly. They're not waiting on, he's not waiting on planning board stuff.
So this was a Board of Health issue.
I understand, but-
Yeah,
Yeah.
planning board not involved in this
Sorry.
one. This was the issue was it's in a nitrogen sensitive area. They need to reconfigure the nitrogen system, I mean, the septic system. They may need to add additional land or just, you know, a better treatment system that does additional nitrogen treatment. And there's just been zero updates on that front.
And
There's been no
outstanding
work.
issues with us? Just for the record,
Well, it really depends on what they're proposed, because they
If they have
said
to
that
move
they were
something.
gonna potentially move some things and they were looking to put it on a different, like, potentially shift it onto the next door property. It's, so at this point, I don't
I
even
think there
know
was
what's
also
going
a
on.
neighbor who was thinking, maybe there's some like conflict.
okay, well, the commission can consider the option, which occasionally in this kind of situation has come up over the years. Which is if the applicant is not moving this along to our satisfaction in any form or method. Yet we still need something from them, which we do, which is to get confirmation that the Board of Health isn't gonna require something moving. That would, as Hannah just said, affect us potentially, moving and say, you can deny and close and make them reapply.
And I would just give them one more shot and say, hey, if we don't get anything for the next time. Either, you know, potentially you could deny based on lack of information, you could have them withdraw without prejudice. Or, you know, or approve the plan pending certain conditions, being which you have a approved Board of Health permit. So it really depends.
But
Cause if
in
you
this
meet
case,
all of the Concom stuff. then-
right, I would be hesitant to do the last, I would be hesitant to do the last option.
Look, I would just take.
Yeah, we've only seen
Be-
him once on that.
Because if we,
We saw him twice and he came back with.
if we condition some,
Trees.
Oh.
That
if we
was-
condition something based on the last option Hannah just suggested, I would be reluctant to do that because unlike a lot of things, which is just waiting for rubber stamp by somebody, which wouldn't change the plans, the Board of Health recommendations
Could
could
change
require
something,
something
yeah.
to have us change it. And if we approved it based on that,
Well,
he
then we
doesn't-
would just have to
Go
come
around
back
circles.
for a new permit.
right, it kind of just complicates things unnecessarily, I think, if we don't need to give them that option, I think. If we have other viable ones. Okay, so what's the pleasure of the commission at this point in
I
time?
still think we should
We haven't-
continue it and we just continued it extra time because we don't think we're gonna get anything back
Yeah.
for the next meeting, so. Then
But-
if he can't get to it by then then we can reach out to him.
So you want to give,
Hannah's been reaching out.
I think the question is whether we want to extend
Well,
or.
it's like a minute of our time if we don't keep talking about it, but, you know, to continue the hearing and like.
Continuing until I don't see the advantage of continuing until June if you're not gonna expecting a response then. Or if he doesn't respond, then we're gonna warn him that basically he has
Oh,
to
what?
respond.
What's the point of that?
What's the point? It's taking up commission time.
No,
And
the only
being-
thing that's taking up commission time is talking about this.
Well, I mean, I do still have to, every time I have to reach out to him, I have to check and see, hey, are you doing this? We have to send the agenda, it has to be included in all the paperwork. Like, cause if we miss that, then.
The applicant's not
potentially
responsive. They
straight
have,
up.
they have a responsibility to be
It is like a
responsive.
little bit about, like, to be frank, like, it is
But
frustrating amount of administrative time.
But now you have an extra month to do it.
To do what?
Right, no,
Paperwork?
I agree, oh, are
Why
you
should
just
we?
saying, put it to June, and then at that point, if we don't get anything back, yeah, that's what
That's
I was
what I
suggesting,
agree.
yeah. That's what I was suggesting.
Oh, you wouldn't want to just tell them now. You,
I think.
I think he's had plenty of opportunities, but I'll go along with whatever the commission wants to do.
I also did let him know, okay, if we don't get a response and you don't provide some updates by this date, the commission is gonna, you know, look at these options. he requested a continuation and we granted a continuation and then just continued granting continuations. So I just feel like it would be helpful to make it clear that, okay, this is
Alright,
the
well-
warning, like,
Yep.
and that's where we are.
I'll make a motion to come.
No, she's already
Oh,
made
you
a
already
motion.
did, then I will second that.
Did you, didn't remember? Been such a long discussion.
Yeah.
Okay, any other discussion points? We have a motion and a second to continue this till June, what was the date? 10th? June 10th. Okay, hearing none, seeing none, James,
Aye.
Steve,
Aye.
Marianne,
I,
Don,
Aye.
Nicole,
Aye.
okay, votes. 10. Other business, and I'll let you summarize.
Mass Electric.
Yep, so this is, one of the, they're just doing a pole replacement. And because it's in riverfront and our riverfront regulations and our town bylaw really just relate back to Wetlands Protection Act regulations, which this is kind of an exempt activity in riverfront for that kind of thing, so
Is it
they asked
Prospect?
if that
Or
was
South Maple?
appropriate. I believe it's on Prospect
It says
Street.
Prospect, but for some reason I always thought Prospect was Franklin.
Yeah, so it's a really, it's actually, they said there's like 3 other poles that are actually in Franklin, but it's like right over,
Okay, ran the.
right over the edge.
Just
Yeah.
past the recycling stuff.
Yep, so this is, they put a little, thing in here.
Like your little asterisk, like disclaimers.
And I think their prospect of getting this approved is good. This is deja vu, get that off of there. No?
What's going on? I'm gonna write down all these dad jokes.
There.
Didn't even try.
That's not the one that I want to see. Wait, oh, there we go. Oh, there we go. All right, yeah, so there's 2 that they're replacing, only one of which is even in the 200 foot, so the other one's not even in wetland jurisdiction, so just this one, and then the rest of the ones are in Franklin on Prospect.
It's right now on that edge.
Yeah, so those are the 2 that they're requesting, so it was more of just an informational thing, because I was like, it's exempt under.
There's a
When it comes to the buffer.
boundary. There's an old boundary. mark.
Place, I'm like, technically, there isn't an exemption for you under our regulations, but for riverfront, our regulations just refer
Ranches town.
almost entirely back to Wetlands Protection Act, so that seems like an appropriate place to just
He's
do
retired. Well, I live out of this.
notification, and that's kind of what I seen when I looked back in the records of, how and process stuff, all that, so that's usually precedent wise seemed like an appropriate place to put it. If you guys have a different opinion, let me know.
I thought I saw something, it's not related to this project specifically. Guys, I saw something recently about Mass DEP issuing a violation to another company, which is a utility company, for doing work in a wetland in Bellingham. And I was like, I've never seen this plan before. Yeah, I have no idea.
Use Bellingham, Washington.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you see something, feel free to share it with me, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Maybe they get confused.
That's the info there, if you have any other questions, let me
Okay.
know, but. That was that. Then I think we get into minutes.
If anybody, I didn't read the minutes yet, I haven't had a chance to stay for 8 minutes, but if anybody else has any comments, something, wants to make observations, has read them through, I'd be happy to hear that. You want to just continue them, they're only the last meeting, so if you want to continue them just till the next meeting and give you more of a chance to read through them thoroughly.
Yeah.
After all, Caitlin does all those note taking and Hannah supports that and want to make sure they give them their due attention. I don't feel rushed to approve the 8 minutes, do you?
Yes,
James,
I
thank you,
agree.
James.
The voice of reason.
Okay, could you go through them point by point, any typos or errors or?
No, I was telling you to continue it, Mike.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought, just make sure, okay, so we'll just continue that one, and anything else, Hannah?
So these were 2 things not on the posted agenda, but, last minute would like to just say, based on I was on the phone for like many hours today with multiple people that were on the agenda today, and we had some late submittals, and sometimes with like enforcement orders, if we're just looking to move stuff through, I think it does make sense to just be like, okay, if we get stuff, we can keep going with it. But if you guys don't have a chance to review and I'm adding stuff in day of, it doesn't work great. And generally, my office policy has generally been, if you get it to me by Friday, it'll go on the, in the weekend portal. So it gives you a chance to review at least. I say, they might not get a chance to review if you don't get it to them sooner, but if you get it by then, they can at least have the weekend to review. But we don't have a written policy anywhere. We don't have a written policy for a continuation process for
Information
adoption.
that's provided, isn't it somewhere on the website? I thought it said on the website when you're applying that there was something in writing, whether it's policy per se or just written on for the website, 10 days in advance. And all information is provided 10 days in this commission administrator.
Yeah, I think that's like written, well, 10 days in advance is new, well, 10 business days is new applications. So that's two weeks before.
Just
is
new
the
applications, it
application.
says specific applications, not information.
I can look,
Okay.
but if it's on
Already
there,
expanded.
that's just like, oh, that was written on there. We don't have like it would be good to have something together and post it on the website. Commission voted. This is the
Absolutely.
policy,
I agree.
anything from it. And Steve's brought this up multiple
Yep.
times and I was like, yeah, let's do it. And then it just kind of fell to the wayside. And today made me go, okay,
It needs to be done.
this would be probably very helpful to have on the books.
Yep.
So I'll put something together and,
Absolutely.
check in with town councils.
It's good to hear earlier. The way it is becomes a strategy
Oh, yeah.
to file it an hour before, so we don't have time and it will sweep it through.
Give it a spin and,
And then that way there's also a continuation policy, so for people that show up, like there's some frustration with members of the public that come in that are like expecting to have a hearing because it was on the agenda that was posted, there was no continuation request. If there's a time limit for, hey, if you request a continuation before that, we can just say, yep, okay, on to the next one. But and just process that continuation, fine. But if you don't do it before the agenda's posted, I have to talk to town council about it, but I was looking at other towns' procedures that you can still receive public comment for it. So even if we're not discussing the
love to have
project,
that.
that people can still at least express some of their concerns and
because they
be able to
take the time to
participate
come.
because they
Yep.
took the time to come and
Yep.
it feels really quite terrible
I
to
think
be
that's
like,
a
no, we
technique
can't-
that,
we
that
can't
some people
have you
use.
talk.
Yep.
So I think that would be, helpful, and just having that all written out. So I'll put something together for,
And have town council review it.
and have
Yep.
town council review, just to make sure that that's okay. And then the
Yeah,
only other thing is,
We'd have to treat that much like we treat a site walk, guys. We'd have to essentially not deliberate. So I've seen that's happened in quite a few towns that I've been involved with projects in where something gets continued and there's residents, very similar type of project situations, and it's the same thing where we can essentially take comment, but we cannot comment ourselves, cannot deliberate, cannot make decisions. It's really
That makes
just kind of
sense.
info.
Yeah.
that's a very good point, James. So that could be something that I put on there that says, commission will not deliberate, there will be no decisions, but public comment could be made. That would
Good
make-
point.
that would make sense. And then the only other thing was, it's kind of beaver dam season for stuff, and we've had a couple of them kind of come up, and Mike usually works with me to get an emergency certification out there, because that's how DEP policy, like,
And we know,
it's Board of Health,
Yeah,
whatever,
why
but.
is
and she and I don't involve the rest of you because we know you don't give a damn, but otherwise.
Oh, people got hit right in front of my house, actually, 2 days ago.
Been talking to,
Yeah.
DPW, and it would be nice, I think a lot of residents and DPW personnel, like, people get confused, because it's a weird process with both boards, so having a policy between both Board of Health and the Conservation Commission that's posted, written, voted on by both boards, and posted on our website, Board of Health website, DPW website, I think would hopefully streamline that a little bit, so Dylan and I, the Board of Health agent, are working on getting that together.
Do you have like a policy from another town that you can use as a?
Yeah, we're looking at a couple of
Yeah.
different towns and trying to kind of put something together for
What
that.
happens to the beavers when you break up their dams?
It
Well,
really.
it depends how old the dam is. If it's something the beaver just put up 2 days ago, they're just trying to create habitat. If the dam's been there for months, I think what the period of time is now, it's established it as a habitat, it's put a house or a hut, whatever they call their beaver lodge, thank you. So I think it depends on that.
Really, yeah, it really depends if they're, if they rebuild, like if that's a good area and they really like it, they're just gonna keep rebuilding. There's a lot of options that people trap and
As
some.
opposed to the grocery store and stuff.
That work, yeah.
I've seen people's property get flooded, I've
Sometimes
seen homes.
It's good habitat, so they just.
Yeah.
Replace them, people move back in, like.
And
Build
depends on where
house
it's,
where they wanna
depends on
build.
where it's located too.
Yeah.
There have been some issues like on 126 at the far end of town. There was one that was being put in and they ended up, I think, trying at least, maybe they did succeed at putting in a beaver deceiver.
Yeah.
Which is, the pipe that goes underneath and allows the dam to remain. The beaver don't keep building it because they think their dam is working.
That's
But the
exactly,
water still keeps at a low level because the pipe underneath at the bottom, they can't see and do anything about, works. And
they did that at Prospect Street
I
with
feel
that
bad for the
telephone
little
pole,
guys.
Yeah.
because that flooded the street.
Yeah, so we're also working on like putting together database and like putting together, okay, has there been intervention here? Did that intervention work? Like,
Great.
so there's more documentation, more follow-up, better procedures.
still make fun of
That's-
your teeth if you have any.
It's just another background thing that we're working on that it'll either probably be next meeting or the meeting after.
Awesome.
Good.
Good.
It's good, makes your life easier, hopefully after some of this stuff gets.
Yeah, we were
Like-
like.
Be
we
pro,
need it
and be
anyway.
proactive
Push it off,
too,
push it
know?
off, and
Like, hey,
then-
let's go check this area instead of
Yes.
like, oh shit, we gotta do some
And
emergency thing.
it's been a very,
Yeah.
it's a very reactive process right
Yeah.
now rather than proactive, which it
I mean, all-
doesn't put anybody in a good brain.
Good, talk about pushing things off, so forth, the open space committee stuff, didn't we hear something, or did I see something in an email? From the open space?
Maybe you
person?
smelled
There was something else that they could have, that there was something else that they need to do, they were trying to get a sign off with somebody. No, is that the plan? Reviewing the open
You're
space,
looking at 2024.
open space committee was meeting and had come up with something in the form of a document, I thought recently, like. No.
I was gonna say, we got sign off from Concom.
Oh, yeah, no, all that. I thought there was I thought I saw something in the last couple of months or a month or so, which was from somebody from open space or about something from open space, which made me think, oh, they still need to get something.
Oh, yeah, we got comments back from the state and we're
Oh,
working
this-
through them, so me and the rest of the, that commission are working through.
Still working through it. I thought you were still working through some
On
stuff.
the state comments, but
Gotcha,
yes, we
okay.
don't
So
need- we don't
progress
need-
is stopping, still progress. Okay, good, because I know you put a ton of effort into that.
Yeah.
That's good. And it'd be nice if we can get some people in town to volunteer to walk around and look at the open spaces that we have.
Let's walk on the 16th.
Just even to observe the properties that we've been.
Yeah, that's
And say,
what we're doing.
whether it needs a cleanup or not, that, it exists and somebody's not camping out there,
May
lives
16th,
there.
right?
Yeah,
If you see a squatter, run away,
May
don't
16th.
cost them.
May 16th,
Yeah.
yes.
Just curious.
And I just want
Okay.
to
Yeah.
put on my calendar.
Any other business? I know James wants to go to bed, and not that he has the shortest commute.
Birthday.
Happy
Keep it
birthday,
complete.
James.
Are you eating cake right now?
No, I'm not. I did
Aw,
make
that's a
myself
bummer.
brownies earlier though.
Did you have Brian's?
It says James Clancy and it says B. Like, is that like birthday boy?
I put in BCC so people knew I wasn't just a resident.
Oh,
Oh.
it just said B dot.
Yeah, I thought it said birthday boy. That would have been cooler.
No,
So you're saying happy birthday to you, but that'd be more painful than.
I don't really want that in the public record, to be honest with you.
Okay. So somebody's
So we're gonna
birthday.
close the
Oh,
meeting,
yeah.
we're gonna close the meeting.
No idea. I was
That's
trying to
what
figure.
helps.
Yeah,
No
it's like the
clue.
back of someone's chair.
Yep, no clue. I was thinking maybe it was that, but I don't know why that happened. But yeah, I think a good birthday present to James would be to
Well,
wrap it
so.
up.
Yeah, that'd be great.
So, Motion. No, motion to adjourn second, James, so thank you, birthday guy.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you, well, James, yes, okay, Steve, Ariana,
Yeah.
Nicole, okay, everybody voted yes, thank you. Just for the record, because officially, we've done all the other things that way tonight. We can.
I'm tired. They start slugging, huh?